Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. We've come to the end of the Galaxy of Fear series. Sad face here. But the last two, books 11 and 12, are very good, and I can't wait to talk about them. Let's go now. Book number 11 is called Clones. In this one, the kids in Hool encounter Darth Vader. Oh wait, it's the clone of Darth Vader. See, there's this cloning facility on Dantooine who can clone Darth Vader and other people. It may even clone some of them. Oh no, they have to fight the evil version of their clones. It's classic, thriller, horror, schlock, but done in the Star Wars universe realm. Now, Pablo Hidalgo, in his book here, he says that there could be a conflict or something that doesn't make sense. He said clones is the hardest one to explain, because if cloning technology was that good, how does the Empire keep having all these problems when his cloning tanks? Because this came out way before, or the clone story came out way before Dark Empire, so to speak, where he can't get down the thing. Well, first off, I'd like to say that it's the Force. Someone with the Force that's hard to clone. I don't think that clone had the Force. I don't think they indicated that it had the Force. It was just a clone of Darth Vader, So I think the Force is what the Emperor was having problems with, because his dark side energy was eating up the clone bodies. A non-Force user, yeah, you can clone them. We've seen cloning gone well with Kamino, but what happened to Kamino? I mean, obviously it went away, but they had perfect cloning technology back then, and the Emperor didn't know how to use it. So I don't see how this could create a problem with cloning technology. If you think about it, they're highly advanced in some ways, way early in these books. Like, there are some books, the early books, so to speak, where they have androids or droids that look just like Leia and feel just like Leia, and everyone is fooled. They think it's Leia. No, it's a droid, and she shoots lasers out of her eyes. Yeah, that happens. Anyway, my point is, I kind of disagree with Pablo here. I don't think there's any problem with this. I mean, if they had perfect cloning on Kamino and lost that technology, obviously Dantooine ain't going to be much better. So, now we get to the final and last book in the series, book 12. This one's called The Hunger. Now, running from the bounty hunters, the kids meet up with good old Platt O'Keefe, who hitches them a ride to Dagobah, where Tash encounters Yoda, who kind of tells her about the Force, and this is kind of the finale here. Fett's pursuing, Fett's mentioned at the end of it. But anyway, they are on the run from Fett on Dagobah, who is, there's the dangers of Dagobah as well. And Yoda may provide a little bit of help in that case. But this is like the finale, the final story. It's good. Platt O'Keefe, to throw a West End Games character in there, I nearly fell out of my seat. In fact, I think this is the only time we see Platt O'Keefe outside of West End Games material even mentioned in the expanded universe. So that John Whitman had this coup de grace and said, you know what, I'm going to throw in a West End Games character just to show you how much EU knowledge I got. Man, that dude had mad skills. I know that Pablo has made, in this book, he talks about, man, Yoda had so many visitors on Dagobah, and including, I knew when he said that, he's including this story here, the Hunger, the final story in the Galaxy of Fear series. I didn't mind this as much. Yeah, if Yoda knows she's around, and Yoda knows she has the Force, then why is Yoda all like gloom and doom? It's just you and your sister. Well, he doesn't know what happened to Tash. In fact, she's being pursued by Boba Fett. So there's a good chance, she's eventually going to be cooked. And he's not saying, he is saying you're the last Jedi, but not the last Force user. Surely he knew there were other Force users too. So that used to bother me back in the day, but it doesn't anymore. That Yoda Yoda can't be a hermit forever. Obi-Wan wasn't a hermit forever. So it's conceivable that he came across some contact here and there. I guess they'd ordered another 6 novels from him, and this was the last one, so he just went big. Boba Fett, Yoda, throw a little Platt O'Keefe in there, and made the series really enjoyable. Now, you guys already know what I think of the series. I love the series. I think it's fantastic. I think John Whitman did a great job. I think you should get these. I think you should track them down. I don't know how hard they are to track down. I can't imagine them being too hard. I remember a long time ago, and I regret passing it up, at a flea market, I saw someone selling all of them them for like $12, and I already had them, so I passed them up, and I totally regret that, because I should have picked them up, because there's probably someone out there who said, oh man, I would have loved to have paid $20 just to get all 12, but next time I see them, you got it. Anyway, overall, I think the series was super good. It rose above what it was meant to be, and I mean, just exceeded far past what it was supposed to be. In fact, they were so happy with John Whitman that Scholastic ordered a new series to be brought around called Star Wars Fairy Tales. Now, John Whitman actually wrote the first 2 books, and that was going to go into production. It was starring Jason and Jana as kids, and basically their little adventures. That would have been like amazing, right? But by then, the prequels were coming out. They said, no, we want to do prequel novels now. No! I mean, don't get me wrong. We got Jedi Apprentice, which was unbelievable. It's a great series. Probably one of the best prequel books ever for me. But I would have loved to have gotten Star Wars Fairy Tales. And folks, just to make it even madder, we almost got those in print. A long time ago, I know John Whitman was he was going to give them out to a friend of mine who was going to publish them on his website. And unfortunately, he lost John Whitman's contact, never followed up with him. I can't find John Whitman. That author has disappeared from the face of the earth. I have contacted people who he's written for. Say, hey, do you have any email, contact information? Can I send a fan letter and y'all forward it to him? And they're like, no, we don't know where he is now. So I don't know if he's dead or what happened to him, but maybe someone in the comments knows. Anyway, the adventures of Zach and Tash are not over yet, folks. Aldrich Tolliver for Hyperspace wrote one little short fiction about it called Death in the Slave Pits of Lorrd. And basically Tash is just recounting an adventure they had in the Slave Pits of Lorrd. And she mentions all the previous adventures they had, and I guess Aldrich Tolliver was just a fan of Galaxy of Fear, and he just wanted to write his own little short story, so he did. It has very awful looking art in it. And it's, it takes place after all these adventures happen, because Tash mentions that in the journal entry. It's basically just one long journal entry. It's okay. This was the only one that was not reprinted on the Savudu website. They reprinted, or I should say they posted all of the Hyperspace fiction a long time ago, and it was fantastic. But I noticed the one that they did not have that I forgot to copy and paste was, and I didn't copy and paste any of those short stories back in the day because I thought Hyperspace was going to be there forever, but Death in the Slave Pits of Lorrd. And I really wanted to read it because I knew what it was about, and I love the Galaxy of Fear series. So I was like, yes, please. And I tracked down Aldrich Tolliver and I asked him, do you have a copy I can get? He said, no, man, I don't, but you know what? If you look online, I'm sure someone has it. And coincidentally, at that very moment, someone had posted it online. I think Aldrich had slipped it out there for me to get. Now I think it's readily available. I think you can find it easily now on the internet. But for a while, it was super hard to get. Now I was super excited about it, but the artwork looked bad in it, and the story was so-so. So it's kind of like unfortunately, Aldrich Tolliver, even though I'm glad he did this, his intentions were nice. He wanted to extend something that he really enjoyed. John Whitman really should have written more books. And they dumped the whole Goosebumps thing, because I think this guy would have been amazing. If he would have had fairy tales and didn't have to follow the Goosebumps format, I can only imagine what those stories would have been like. I bet they would have been incredible. In fact, he probably would have rivaled or beat Jude Watson if he hadn't been hogtied for writing those, cliffhangers at the end of every chapter, which kind of gets annoying. But other than that, Galaxy of Fear, great series. I love it a lot. All right, folks, that's all the time I have for now. See you next time with another video.